you might have to do this even when you're exhausted. Just like St. Paul was in the text. Look at somebody and say, I will maintain my perspective. I will maintain my... Now, you may be seated for a few minutes. When you look on the word, they sound similar, but they are not. Prospective, P-R-O-S-P-E-C-T-I-V, comes from the Latin word translated in the English as a person who is a prospect. To paint a picture, to break it down so you can understand it more clearly, it's baseball season now. The major league is about to start. And all those guys who are now playing on the major league teams, they gone through a period where they were only a prospect. They had gifts, talents, but they weren't considered major leaguers. So what they do to develop them is to put them in a place where they are considered minor leaguers. Now the minor leaguers has to prove themselves and show that they're developed enough. They have enough muscles, they are focused, they can master their craft before they would even dare to consider them in major league. While they're in the minor league, no one calls them a professional baseball player. Everyone calls them a prospect. You still here? So when they look at them, they would say, he's a prospect. And when you're a prospect, that means you have potential. It doesn't mean that you are going to make it to the major league, but you have potential. Tell somebody, I have potential. Yeah. So when you look on the word prospective, you're looking on somebody who has potential to be great. Tell somebody, you got potential. Yeah. But when you look on the word, and most times they use it interchangeably, prospective and expectation. So when you look on the word perspective, you will realize that perspective helps you to cope with life and its challenges. Your potential, or what you are expecting to be, or do, or live, or say, is maintained because you have potential. Are you still here? Maintaining your perspective is the anointing to fulfill your perspective or your potentiality, which is your capacity. Are you still here? Can I take my time for a minute with it? Are you still here? If you're here, say I'm here. I'm here. So what I want to talk about this day is maintaining that, your perspective, so you can fulfill your potential. Because make no sense, we have the potential and die with it. Die only being a potential candidate for the major league. if you're not careful, the enemy will want you to plateau to the point where you get comfortable in just being a prospect. But God does not want us to remain a prospect. He wants us to be a major leaguer. Oh, Shalabahansa. Tell somebody, I'm a major leaguer. A major leaguer. Major leaguer. My prospect is my expectation. I'm expecting to be great. So if you have an expectation about it, you won't respond to a situation like others do because you have a different expectation. Expectation is you living for the future and not for now. Tell somebody that goes. Because when you're living for the future, you don't go crazy when things are not what you want it to be in your now situation. I'm going to say it again. When you're living for your future, when you're living to fulfill your expectation, you don't go crazy when things go haywire. Because you're not living based on your now, you're living based on where you are going. The reason why you don't go crazy based on your now situation is because you are seeing the outcome rather than the current circumstances. I feel somebody need to shout in this house. Let me go to the text for a minute, just for the sake of time. And as I promised you, I just want to lay that at your spiritual feet. You're looking here at St. Paul, the spiritual father of one of the greatest evangelists that ever lived, Timothy. Timothy was a young bishop who was ordained by St. Paul. Timothy was the mentee of St. Paul. When Timothy was called into ministry, he was intimidated. He was intimidated. Why? Because the people that he was going to lead, Dr. Jones, were more highly educated than him. They were more sophisticated than him. They knew the law more than him. They knew the word more than him. And now Paul has placed him in a place or at a spot where everyone who is preaching to is either older than him or no more than him. But yet still Paul challenged him, and sometimes he felt so intimidated that Paul has to say words with the other young man to encourage him and to remind him that